and welcome to Fuji International Speedway in Japan. I'm Jonathan Green, bringing you round 5 of the GT Asia Championship for 2013. Now, if ever there was an iconic circuit for GT racing, this is it. Perched under the magnificent Mount Fuji, drivers and teams always love the undulating twists and turns on this Fuji speedway. Now, coming into the Fuji round, it's been the 007 Aston Martin Vantage that's been leading the way, with Stefan Muka, the factory driver, and his teammate in second place, Frank Yu. It's been a great combination, the pair of them in the 007. Number one so far, but it's been a battle too. Look at round 4 as the McLaren clashing in the closing stages of Mok Wen-sung, former champion. They are currently third and itching for an overall win. But in the mix is also the young Chinese driver Li Zikong. Li Zikong of Asia Racing Team, currently 4th overall, but a strong competitor. So too the Audis, Honda and Alex Young. Plenty to play for. Here is the Drivers' Championship as it stands. Stefan Muka ahead of his teammate Frank Yu. Mok Wen-sung is 3rd, Li Zikong is 4th. Charlie Rowe Charles is in 5th place, equal with Taku Haman. Then Hamaguchi, Alex Young, Olivier Honda, and then Marchi Lee and Jeffrey Lee in the LMS Ultra, with work to do, but surely we'll get up there soon. Clearwater Racing leading Craft Racing ahead of Team R8 LMS Ultra. Asia Racing Team in 4th place ahead of Age Racing with 27 points. And the beautiful sight of Mount Fuji as we prepare ourselves for the start of another great racing weekend. Alex Young and his teammate preparing. Mark Goddard, new to the fold this weekend, another great driver from Asia. Daryl O-Young joins the fold, a host of Japanese desperate to go well on their home track. So it's set fair for another great race weekend, starting with round 5, and that will be a rolling start. And as they head off on the warm-up lap, let's take a look at this Fuji circuit. It's defined by this long straight on the main straight, 4.5 kilometers in all 16 turns. It then dives downhill and winds its way downhill before climbing back up to that long straight. Wind just a couple of kilometers an hour, and track temperature 29 to 32, so perfect for racing, really. And in terms of the grid, it's the Aston Martin of Stefan Muka, Frank Yu and Craft Racing that lead the way ahead of Hamaguchi, and Clearwater Racing, Mok Wen-sung, so close to winning last time out. Alex Young and Hideki Honda qualified well in 3rd place with the Audi this time. Daryl O-Young coming in for the first time for Craft Racing. Him and Samson Chan right where they need to be, ahead of Marchi Lee and Jeffrey Lee in the Audi, and likewise Li Zikong in 6th position. So work for the young Chinese to do. Chen Kongfu is in 7th place. Rowe Charles is in 8th position for the Lamborghini for Clearwater Racing. Akira Lida is a newcomer to the championship, and he lines up 9th position ahead of Wayne Shen in 10th. And then a little further back, the battle for GTM class. Tahoe Lida is in 11th place, then Francis Thier is in 12th, both in Porsches. And then the 458 of Azuma, that's been the car to beat this season so far, ahead of Keith Vong of Macau in 14th position. A little further back, John Shen, 15th place. Delantha Malagamua, a former champion in GTs here, but starting all the way down in 16th position for this race. And Aoki Takuma coming in for the first time. Great to have a full Japanese entry, former motorcycle racer further down the grid, but enjoying coming to Fuji to race this spectacular field of cars. And this rolling start about to get underway, led by the Aston Martin and the McLaren. Who's going to take the lead? The Audis dive to the inside. Good start, though, by the Aston Martin of Stefan Muka of Germany. Down to that first corner, it's critical through here, on board with Chen Kongfu, and McLaren goes slightly wide, is pushed wide as well, as they get a little bit of nudge there, going through turn 2, and down the hill they come. Great onboard shot, but it is the Aston Martin of Muka that leads. McLaren in 2nd place. Everybody cleanly through, and on board with Akira Lida, the new boy to the championship in the number 91, already making up some places. Oh, and there's a little bit of nudging going on in the early stages, but that to be expected, I suppose. Great start from the Aston Martin, got off the line well, and as you can see, starting to pull away at the front, but only just. Meanwhile, the battle between the Audis is ongoing. Midfield, through that right-hander, Marchie Lee got his own battle with the newcomer, Darrell O'Young, of course, both Hong Kong drivers, and they've battled each other many times before. Roe Charles is in the thick of it as well for Clearwater Racing. Good start by the Lamborghini. There he is, just in front. Lamborghini, definitely great in a straight line. He got on the long straight here at Fuji, but it's going to be difficult around these tight left and right-hand corners at the bottom of the circuit. Paddy Roberts watching on, as it is. Muka, then Hamaguchi in second place. Alex Young starting well, the former Formula One star, in third place. Then Chen Kongfu, and then Rowe is in fifth place. Marchie Lee in sixth. So he's chasing down the Lamborghini, and he's chasing it hard too. Li Zikong with work to do. He's in seventh place, and he, of course, one of the championship contenders for this year. It all ends up at the Macau Grand Prix, the 60th Macau Grand Prix at the end of the season. And that is going to be a lot of fun indeed to see these massive, expensive supercars going round that tiny Macau street circuit. But they love it, and it's been that way for the last few years. Leader going through on Darrell O'Young. O'Young coming into the championship, the World Touring Car star, and of course former Porsche Carrera Cup Asia champion. Has got many accolades, one of the best drivers we've got in Asia. Great to see Darrell O'Young back, and delighted to have him in the fold of GT Racing. I think he will be a superstar as he makes his Aston Martin move as quickly as he can up the field, and he's passed the Japanese number 91 already. So Darrell O'Young passes up to 8th place, past the new boy leader. So Young still finding his way. They only shook down the car on Wednesday. Mark Goddard watching on, Frank Yu in the background. And it's hotting up nicely here between Aoki in 16th place, Malagamua in the Lamborghini, with John Shen pushing hard in 18th place, right behind him, as they come back up the hill and wind their way through the twisting left and right turns until they get to that long straight. And here is that straight. And it seems to go on forever here as we get onto it now with Aoki, who goes tight. Now we get to see, puts the power down, and it's all about horsepower, this. Aoki going through the gearbox. Very simple indeed, and he's side by side with the Porsche. Behind him, of course, the Lamborghini of Malagamua. So this could get interesting as we go into the first turn for sure. Aoki, though, is past the Porsche. There he is. Watching on. Malagamua goes wide, and Delantha Malagamua gets out of shape here. What happened? Well, John Shane coming up the inside, just a little tap from behind. He's been pushing all the way. And, well, 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. But Delantha Malagamua has come off worse. And, well, hard to say whose fault it was, but everybody's pushing. John Shen pushing Delantha out of the way. And again, another nudge there. This time it's Roe Charles. And he gets pulled round in the Clearwater Racing Lamborghini number 11. And let's have another look at that. The Audi went past, and did he get a nudge from the Porsche? Well, either way, he hit the dirt on the inside, and I think that's what really spun him around. Either way, he is still in contention. We'll take a short break. We'll be right back with more from Fuji after this. Welcome back to Fuji International Speedway as Stefan Muka of Germany leads the way and has just put in an impressive fastest lap, a 1:41.6 to lead the way for Craft Racing. An impressive run by the Aston Martin so far, but the pit window about to open as Li Zikong holding off Darrell O'Young. Good run by Darrell O'Young in the Aston Martin as he sighs his way through the field after not a great qualifying, but not a lot of time in the car. The pit window is open now. And Li Zikong under immense pressure now from the Hong Kong driver, experienced Darrell O'Young. Of course, he's been racing at Le Mans and in the World Touring Cars, as Darrell has done it all. Wayne Chen, first man in for Modena Motorsports in the Porsche. He's in the GTM class. And the time is dependent on the compensation times, but everyone has to come in. Li Zikong comes in, so does Akira Lida, the new Japanese driver. First time out in the series. Li Zikong fighting overall for the championship, but he's down in 8th position, so this pit stop is important. Francis Scher in GTM for Modena Motorsports. Another Porsche coming in to do his stop. Stefan Muka continues for Craft Racing in the 007 Aston Martin. When will he come in? Looks like he's going to continue to do another lap. Meanwhile, Daryl O'Young is into the pits. So good fighting up to 6th place. Daryl O'Young actually comes in with a very, very strong stint. He'll be handing the car over to Samson Chan. And out goes Tangku Hamad Sulong of Clearwater Racing and Malaysia, having taken over from Ro Charles. And Kasua, amazingly, one of the very few international drivers, a bit like Alex Zanardi, who drives from the wheelchair, so to speak, had the car modified, and it's a fantastic story. A drive-through penalty for car number 16, though, and that's bad news for the GTM driver Wayne Shen. And here comes Takuma out of the car, the wheelchair ready for him. That's been a superb stint by Aoki. What a great story. What a great racing driver. What a brave racing driver. And back to the reality of the wheelchair. That won't feel as much fun, but he's still living the dream. And he's an inspiration to anyone who thinks that life is over after the wheelchair comes out. Not at all. He's still racing. And in goes Kasua. Dijon Racing coming into the championship for the first time this weekend. And like I said, what an inspiration. Alex Zanardi continues to do it in World Touring Cars. And here it is in Japan at Fuji with Dijon Racing. So good stint. And plenty of time to get strapped in and ready to go. They close the door and away he goes. And out goes the Craft Racing. Frank Yu it is at the wheel. In a moment, because Muga is coming in to take his pit stop. He'll be out of that car in a moment. And Frank Yu will be suited and booted and ready to go. There he is. So good stint by Stefan. And he's given him a few seconds lead, and that's all that Frank Yu of Hong Kong needs. And now he's just got to maintain his gap from the McLaren of Hamaguchi, because now Mok Wen-sung is going to take over, and we know what Mok is capable of. We saw a great battle last time out in round 4. The McLaren yet to win. Alex Young coming in the Audi. Honda will take over. Chen Kong-fu out of the car, the Hong Kong driver. There's Alex with that distinctive helmet. Malaysian has done his stint. Out goes the Aston Martin then. Frank Yu at the wheel. Have they maintained that lead? I would say so. The McLaren is out behind them in 2nd place. But Mok Wen-sung, the former champion, right behind him. Frank Yu then will lead the Aston Martin charge. Aston Martin, of course, celebrating their 100th year of racing. So desperate to win here in Asia. But Mok Wen-sung with the McLaren, which is all new, the 12C as well. So desperate to win in Asia for the first time. Good battle here between Li Zikong in the Porsche. Right behind the number 7, that of Marchi Lee and Jeffrey Lee. And if they've done their pit stop, Jeffrey Lee will be in the car. As it looks like Li Zikong taking advantage of that as he blows by. And the Porsche looking for a good result here. Remember, he's been in contention for the championship since the first round. And it looks as though the pit window now closed. So those on the pit wall have done their job. And it's now up to the second drivers. Here we are. Frank Yu leads from Mok Wen-sung. Hideki Honda has taken over from Alex Young. He's in 3rd place at the moment. Then Philip Ma is 4th, and the number 98, Li Zikong, who you saw earlier, going up to 5th place ahead of Jeffrey Lee. He has swapped out now, so Jeffrey Lee fighting hard to try and maintain what Marchi Lee has created. So, different drivers, different styles, different speeds as well. A lot of experience out there, and Philip Ma, probably the most experienced driver out there from Hong Kong in the Audi R8. And Philip Ma has been around a long time, the Hong Kong driver. Stalwart at Macau in every form of car. And now a big GT driver. Done the Porsche Carrera Cup, of course. And many other championships, including the long endurance races in Malaysia and Zhuhai. And now here in the Sprint GTs. All the drivers saying that they love racing this Fuji circuit. It's just something quite special. It's got an iconic feel to it under the Fuji Mountain, of course. Look at the number 2, because Li Zikong is pushing hard now. He senses an opportunity to gain some points here. Comes up on Philip Ma, comes alongside and past for Hong Kong. No, he doesn't. Well, the Audi's got some legs on the Porsche for sure. So good defensive driving by Philip Ma. They cross the line now here at Fuji. Surely another opportunity up the inside here of turn 1. And he does dive and make the move and pulls it off nicely. So Li Zikong up to 3rd place and chasing some important points here in round 5. We'll take a short break. We'll be right back from Fuji after this. Welcome back to Fuji International Speedway, and it is Frank Yu of Hong Kong in the Aston Martin 007 Vantage leading the way here, and he's got a good lead on Mok Win Sung, but Mok is driving faster at the moment and catching in 2nd place. So we've got a battle development and black flag there for number 16. That's Wayne Shen in the GTM class. Wayne Shen in the 997 Cup 3.8 has been pulled in the Porsche. Not good news for his campaign as he tries to get some valuable points in the GTM class, but the black flag pulled out for him. So in comes Shen for Modern Motorsports, and it could be the incident he was involved in earlier, or he could have got a pit stop wrong. Often it's the pit stops that they get wrong. Jeffrey Lee on board with him now, as he fights to maintain partnership. Oh, and just as I say maintain, that's not maintaining, that's going out. And Samson Chan, where did that come from in the Aston Martin? Well, Samson, in his first run here this year, comes round the outside and takes out nastily Jeffrey Lee. And I don't think Jeffrey Lee really had anything to do with that. Just saw the end of it there, but, well, Samson Chan coming together there. No one can really believe that one. Meanwhile, it's getting down to the business end and people starting to take risks. And the 007 now winding its way through traffic now. And the McLaren, there he is, of Mok Win Sung, getting ever closer. Frank Yu tries to use the back markers to give himself and keep that advantage, but the McLaren is coming and coming fast. This is going to be an interesting finish, just as we had in round 4. McLaren came off worse there. Mok Win Sung had to settle for 2nd place. Puff of smoke out of the Porsche of the number 32. That's Aida. Ida getting in the way a little bit of the McLaren as he tries to use the power of the 12C to get past. And McLaren 12C GT3 powers its way down the front straight. And the chase is on now for 1st and 2nd. Nothing between them. Frank Yu comes across the line. He did a 1:44.2. And look how close the McLaren is now as they head out of turn 1. There's nothing between them, and surely Mok sees the next opportunity. Another back marker in the way, and Frank Yu's got to really look at it in his mirrors now, because that McLaren, that silver and red McLaren, is coming and gunning for its first win here in Asia. Hiroshi Hamaguchi of Clearwater Racing, who did the first stint, did a great job to hand the car to Mok, and now Mok is trying desperately. Here he comes up the inside. And he's held in there. Ooh, did they touch? Well, Mok has never held back. And, well, they're loving it, aren't they? Absolutely loving it. Maybe Stefan Muka isn't. He's kind of biting his fingernails at the moment because he knows the pressure that Frank Yu is under. Back up the hill and just a few corners to go here at Fuji. The McLaren nibbling at the heels of the Aston Martin. Out of the last corner they come and onto the main straight. Are they going to do it? What a closer this is going to be. The Aston Martin of Frank Yu leads just from the McLaren, but who's got the power as they go towards the line? Frank Yu comes towards the line and takes the checkered flag. Only just though, as Mok Win Sung did everything in his power to stop him. And Stefan Muka is delighted, so too Daryl Young. Daryl Young watching on as well on the sidelines. What a race that turned out to be. Francis Sierre, winner in the GTM class, his first win for Modern Motorsports in the Porsche. Lights flashing, and well done to Frank Yu. Superb race under immense pressure there for Craft Racing. And Mok Win Sung, well, he did everything he could do. But oh no! 30-second penalty for the 007. Well, that must be an infringement from the pit stop. And after all that hard work, it looks as though the final count is going to show that Mok Win Sung, and it does. Mok Win Sung of Clearwater Racing wins, and amazingly, that's McLaren's first win in Asia. Stefan Muka having it explained to him by the team, And, well, ecstasy to sadness in a matter of seconds. Frank Yu out of the car. He may not be aware of it yet, but he'll soon find out. He's put in all the hard work, and it's going to come to nothing because they've got a 30-second penalty. And that means that Mok Wen-sung is the winner. The champion does it again and is back to winning ways. Meanwhile, Francis Hsieh, likewise for GTM. Good result for him. He deserves that. Here's confirmation then of round 5, and Mok and Hamaguchi win here at Fuji ahead of Lee Zikong in second place. Leader, the new man, in third. That's a great result for him. And in the end, Stefan Muka and Frank Yu dropped to fourth place with that 32nd penalty. Alex Young and Hideki Honda in fifth place at the end of round 5. Well, drama indeed at the end of that one. Disappointment for the Aston Martin, but Mok Wen-sung won't be the way he wanted to win it, but he'll take it. Their first win. Congratulations. Who's going to get... They're playing paper, scissors, rock for who gets the prize. Well, that's good sportsmanship. Excellent stuff. And Mok hands it over to his Japanese teammate. Why not? Great sportsmanship. They're really enjoying this. And congratulations to McLaren as we head down to the press conference of the top 3.
And I'm very glad. I'm so happy to be back here, and I'm so happy to win this race with one of my great friends and one of the person I respect the most, and my teammate, my rival. Very happy. Thank you.
And both of us had a job to do, right? He's got to keep as close as possible to Stefan, and I have to try to catch Frank. So when I got the car, right, I did my best. I think I was closing at about 1 second a lap. And I felt that I was probably going to run out of laps, but I caught him on the second last lap, and we had quite a few close encounters where I tried to get by. Some back markers got in the way on a couple of occasions that slowed me down a little bit, but that's it. I think we crossed the line, must have been 1/10 or 2/10 apart. It was really, really close at the end. And a win is a win, but I would have preferred to have beaten the Aston on the circuit rather than having them get that pit stop infringement. But anyway, we're still happy to deliver the win for McLaren.
Congratulations then to Mok, but in second place, it's the young Chinese in the Porsche, the number 2, Lee Zikong, taking important points for him.
The car is very well in the race. I think I did a good job. I'm very happy. I finished second position.
And in third position, coming into the championship for the first time, another McLaren, the 12C GT3 of Akira Lida, taking third place in the number 91.
They're very lucky. But my teammate and my teammate's father died last night. He go back to his country, so I don't happy. So I hope his family coming happy coming to him.
Sadly, Chen Jun-san not able to take part. The Taiwanese having to go home, of course, after his father passed away. So we wish him and his family well. Congratulations also in GTM to Francis Hsieh, his first win of the year. Tough competition in the GTM class, especially as the Japanese know the circuits so well. But of course that will change as we head off to Malaysia next. In the Drivers' Championship, Stefan Muka leads equal round with Mok Wen-sung on 77 points. Also on 74 points each, Frank Yu and Lee Zikong coming good. The Chinese in the Porsche be third overall. Hamaguchi and Haman also on 50 points. So too Ro Charles. So it's tight in the Drivers' Championship. In the Teams' Championship, Clearwater Racing are clearly ahead with 126 points, but it's close for second and third. Craft Racing still there, but Team R8 LMS Ultra, the Audis are coming quick, and just a couple of points behind. Great to see Daryl Young back in action in GTs. Delanta Malagamua spinning round and getting in trouble. Plenty of action throughout the Fuji weekend, as we've come to expect, and the field is just getting stronger with the likes of Daryl Young coming in. Alex Young, of course. Mok Wen-sung taking McLaren's first win. The Aston Martins, though, are still out on top, but only just. It's going to get interesting. Until next time, from me, Jonathan Green, we'll see you for round 6 from Fuji very soon.